Hi, this is Joe from Leadership Society of Arizona, and I'm really excited about our topic today, which is how to help your child to be more social. I have a lot of parents nowadays asking me, what can they do for their children who are sitting at home playing video games all day? How can I help them to get out to be more social? And so I'm really, it's something troubling for parents, and it's something that really needs to be considered and wondering how we can help our children overcome this barrier. So first of all, I want to help explain that being social is very hard, especially nowadays when you might not go in person to school. They're on video cameras, Zoom calls, Google Meets, where they don't actually get to talk with other students face to face, where they can't understand social cues, they can't understand how to develop conversations. It's just a challenging time for students to develop socially. And so with technology, it's kind of changed the way we interact, and students are less capable now. Not less capable, but more, it's harder for them to be social because they don't get enough opportunities to develop the skill and to socially, develop it. So I wanted to help explain through my own story because I wasn't very social when I was younger. I was very closed off, and I had a hard time being social. So I want to go over my own story so you could see how I developed, as well as I want to give you some tips that you can use with your own children in understanding how to help them be more social. So let's start. This is me in high school. You can see it was kind of difficult for me to be social because, I didn't have a great sense of fashion. I was a nerd. I played a lot of video games, awkward around girls, confused. I was shorter, a lot shorter than most people, and I wasn't, some big guy, big buff guy that all the girls really liked. I was different. And it really, stopped me from really being social, getting out, having confidence in myself to do that. And what it really came down to was I really didn't like myself. I was one of the only Asians in my high school, in my grade, and I felt like I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't in any clubs. I didn't have any great talents in music, in the arts, in, running or anything. And I felt like, hey, I really don't fit in. I'm different. So this goes to my number one tip, which is to love your child. Each child doesn't understand what they're good at. They don't understand their own value. So as we help them and develop them to really understand what they're good at, to know that they are special, they're good at different things, that everyone's not the same, this will help them to have confidence to be social. And it'll help them throughout their entire life. So loving your child is really important. And for me, I went on from this. I kept going. And I saw this popular kid at school. And he was great at talking with teachers, with girls, with guys. He was just really good. And I couldn't imagine a life where I wouldn't be socially anxious before I talked to someone. But this guy did everything. So I said, hey, my goal, I want to be like him. And for a student and a child my age, I did something really embarrassing, which was I asked the popular kid for advice. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I know you're really good at this. How do you do it? And if you can look on the screen, man, he gave me good advice. But each student and each child is going to need this person to rally them, to, give them confidence, coach them, help them understand simple logic about life, help them to really develop this skill. And for me, it was this popular kid. But the first place that I started was the family. It was a place I felt closest to, most safe, where I could develop my skills without fearing of looking dumb. So I worked with this, talked, learned how to make conversation, learned how to think of others. This place, guardians, the closest people to them, this is where they're going to learn the most. And after, you can expand. High school, teachers, advisors, different events, sports, that's another level. But this goes to my second tip, which is talk to your children. Help them build the skill. If they never talk to you, if they never build this skill with you and the family, people closest to you, then they're never going to be able to do it with other people that they don't know. And so the first place to start is the family. As I kept going, I tried things that were different. So I'd sit down, and I was such at a low level that just sitting down and saying hi to someone was a big thing for me. So going into school, I said, hey, I'm going to say hi to everyone around me every day. That was my goal. So I did that. And that was a big accomplishment for me. But I kept going, right? I would start doing things that, I wasn't feeling comfortable usually doing, like going to the dunes, going to the lake, different things that was outside of what I thought. And I wanted to do them. I wanted to do things that got me out of my comfort zone. Next, I joined cross country and track, which I'd never had joined anything in my life, never had any commitments. And that was a big step for me. It gave me a lot of confidence in making friends, in developing a skill, and also just being a part of something. I think for students, that's really important, to be a part of something. Next, I went to dances with different people, and I started to branch out. I knew a lot of people from high school, and I almost knew everyone from my high school and my grade, and I was able to kind of develop that. And at the end of the year, I was nominated as prom king, and I won. And I was really proud because of the fact that I learned how to be more social. Not that I was prom king and that was a big deal, but that I worked hard at it and I was able to accomplish something in my own mind. This comes to tip number 3, which is don't have any high expectations and start small and celebrate the victories. Some of these students, the victories are going to be small, but you need to celebrate them. You need to start where they can go from. That might be just going to an event, not talking at all, just going, being a part of it, being there. That is socially taxing, right? So for different people at different levels, it's going to take different things. And you need to learn how to not have expectations. Start small, celebrate the victories, acknowledge those things that are going well, and help them to make the steps. As I went through high school, I started to learn about the things that I felt like I didn't like about myself. I started to accept them and realize that they were actually good things for me. For example, I didn't like being Asian because I was one of the only ones. But I started to realize, hey, everyone knows me. Everyone knows my name because I'm the only Asian. I can make Asian jokes and people would laugh at them. It made me who I was. And a lot of other things like, hey, I never knew I was good at anything because I didn't try. And when I joined cross country and track, I was actually okay at it. And when I tried it, I started to realize I was good. So it's because I never tried that I never really got that opportunity. So this goes to tip number 4, which is find situations and opportunities where your children thrive, but don't force them to do anything. This is really important. First of all, to find where they thrive, where they're good at. Different students at different clubs with different people, they'll thrive in different places. So we have to be observant on, hey, what's the best place they can be social? And the big part of this is don't force them. It's so easy as a parent to try and force them, say, hey, this is for your own good. But it could do the opposite of what you really want. You don't want your child to be scarred for life from events that they've been forced to go, that now they have to overcome these scars and these different events that happen in order to develop socially. We want to be open and we want to find opportunities, but we don't want to force and push. And for me, this ended up doing really well. And I am, really happy with how I developed socially. I love being social now. Even for my job, I love being with the students, getting to know them. As well as professionally, I travel with my father doing presentations, doing events. I love getting to meet people. I don't feel the social anxiety I used to. I actually met my wife through this, going to events, meeting new people. And it's something that I really have embraced. And I think a lot of students will embrace it as well as they learn how to develop it and what it takes. So hopefully you understand the tips to help your child be more social, which is 1, love your child. 2, talk to them. 3, don't have high expectations. And 4, find situations and opportunities for them to thrive. If we do those 4 things, there's no reason why a child will not become and develop better socially and be happier in their life. So hopefully you learn this and you can use these 4 tips with your own child and help them to develop socially. And we hope that you keep watching these videos and you learn more, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our channel for more content. We'll see you next time.